And here we go, everybody. Good evening. Hello, hello. Carson Meredith with you on this Saturday night, the first night of June already. Can you believe that? Man, has this year flown by. We appreciate you stopping by. All in all, things are quiet, I guess you could say. There's not much in the way of severe weather to talk about, right? Thank goodness. But we do have some storm chances to talk about. Actually, we've got showers tonight, downpours tomorrow, storms later this week, this upcoming week. So we're going to break down all of that for you this evening. Of course, as always, if you have any questions, thoughts, comments, concerns, let me know. Let's see, Weather Geek's already watching on YouTube tonight. Hey, Carson, great to see you under non-severe circumstances, right? I owe my friends, Ryan Hope, Brian Good, Twanny Andrew, a big thank you for holding down the fort for me last weekend. Yeah, it was definitely a little rocky to say the least. And we did get confirmed, by the way, today that the Weather Service in Louisville is done with all the surveys from last Sunday. When all is said and done, there were 14 tornadoes across the Commonwealth of Kentucky last Sunday. Pretty wild year rolls on, but as far as the severe threat, at least in the near term, that is looking low. But there's one day in particular I'm watching next week, and that's what we're going to talk about here tonight. Let's start things off in E-Town on the SkyTrack camera. It's been wet today, of course, but that rain kind of moved in a little behind schedule. We were thinking around 10, 11 o'clock, maybe seeing a few sprinkles here in Louisville. We didn't see much until after 1 o'clock this afternoon. So I don't think we're going to complain too much about that. But most of the soaking rain that we did have this afternoon has moved out. But we are not done with that rain for the evening. I'll show you why here in a second. Current temperature here in Louisville is 68 degrees. Definitely a cool start to the month of June. We did get into the mid-70s today before that rain moved in. And then, of course, the rain cooled us back down into the 60s. And with the clouds holding tough tonight, and with those rain chances still around, we're not really going to cool down a whole lot overnight tonight. There's a view from a few of our friends at the Kentucky Mesonet, mid-60s, 66 in Bullitt, and it's 64 in Oldham, Taylor, and Carroll counties. Obviously, a gloomy Saturday evening. Maybe you're going to be heading out for some late evening plans. Keep the umbrella handy. We're going to have some breaks in that rain, as you see here on radar this evening, but there's still going to be some showers around. Let me put radar into motion here over the last 3 hours. You can see that big slug of rain we talked about this morning was to our west. It moved in around midday, and it is now starting to scoot off towards the I-75 corridor, up towards Cincy, Covington, and Lexington, even down towards Corbin as well. So far we have not seen much in the way of heavy downpours, which is good. That's really lessening our flooding concern, but there's still going to be some nuisance rain that's with us through this evening and then again on Sunday too. Let me hit a couple of spots here that are seeing some of those lighter raindrops. We'll go down along the parkways, Hardin County, LaRue County, north of Mumfordville and Hart County, also just outside of Greensburg, seeing some light rain at the moment. More than anything else, this is maybe some sprinkles. Could be a little more of a steady light rain, but not a big deal. Just going to make the roads a little damp and might make you a little damp if you don't have your umbrella. So make sure you have that if you're heading out this evening across our central Kentucky county. Scoot things off to the north. Shelby County. Good evening, Shelby County. Shelbyville seeing a few sprinkles right now. The far southeastern tip of Shelby County seeing some lighter rain. And a few more showers up near the Henry-Shelby line, right there near Flag Fork, where Henry, Shelby, and Franklin all come together, of course. Again, these are just some light, pesky showers that are out there tonight. More showers continue up in Jackson and Jennings County, Seymour, actually just west of Seymour, closer to Freetown and Medora, seeing some of that rain. Crothersville, you got a few sprinkles right now. North Vernon, same deal. Out towards Madison, Indiana, some of those sprinkles continue also. So this is going to be the story of the night, gang. Not a huge deal at all. Just a few showers. Now, I can't totally rule out a few rumbles of thunder tonight. Can't rule it out. Don't be caught off guard if it wakes you up, but there is zero severe weather concern overnight tonight. Okay, comments we go. I've been rambling for too long already. James says, hello from Taylor County. Good evening. Angela says, good evening. Always watching, Angela. Appreciate it. Jude says, good evening, everybody. Ralph is watching in Nicholasville. So that's the situation for right now. Light showers, but look what's happening to the west. First of all, there's actually a couple of things I want you to notice. Look at the low. It's still way out near St. Louis. So as long as that low is still to our west, we got to keep the rain chances around. Is it going to rain nonstop, kind of like it did today? I don't think so. We'll get more dry time than not, in fact, for the next 24 hours. But there's going to be some showers tonight to dodge and maybe some downpours tomorrow afternoon to dodge. It's going to be very much like a summer day on Sunday. So you got the low out near St. Louis, and just to the east of it, you notice this pocket of heavier rain that continues to weaken across southern Illinois, moving out towards Paducah, Mayfield, Kentucky. That is our next bout of showers to deal with this evening. So it's going to be, well, there's one or two things could happen. Either that pocket of rain actually moves in to wave country, which would be after, let's say 9 or 10 o'clock. And then we get those spotty showers to stay with us through the night. Or those showers out in Illinois could fizzle, right? And they leave a boundary behind for more showers to flare up late tonight, maybe into the early hours of Sunday. So one of two scenarios at play there. It's not going to be a big deal, but that's just the big setup as we go through tonight. 62 is our forecast low with showers, maybe some thunder. I will say with all the cloud cover we've had today, there's just not much instability. There's not a lot of fuel. So I wouldn't expect much in the way of thunder tonight, but I can't totally rule it out. More than anything else, it's just a few showers. Also notice that the sunsets, guys, are past 9 o'clock. Now, you're not really going to see that tonight, of course, with all the cloud cover, but those days are getting longer. In fact, we're kind of entering that time frame where the days are at their longest for the entire year, where the sun comes up around 6:15, 6:20, and doesn't go down until after 9 o'clock. So just a little nugget in there. We're going to have those sunsets after 9 o'clock until about late July. So enjoy it. Okie dokie. Let's go through Futurecast, shall we? 9 o'clock this evening. So the sun's going down, of course. There'll be a few showers that may try to redevelop along I-65. This is the latest run of the HER model, the high-resolution rapid refresh model. Keeps a few showers around through the evening. The showers to our west struggle to make it to wave country. You notice some of them still out maybe near Jasper and Owensboro by that point. This is 1 o'clock in the morning. But as the night goes on, look what happens around 5 a.m. That potential little boundary that those showers out west leave behind may set off some of those heavier downpours, thus that chance for thunder right along I-65 close to sunrise tomorrow morning. Now, again, these storms, if they do develop, will not be severe, all right? But they could cause ponding on the road. So if you're heading out early tomorrow morning for whatever you might have going on, work, church, anything, keep an eye to the skies, keep an eye on the Wave Weather app as well. And of course, I'll be here tomorrow morning tracking any of those heavier downpours for you. So that's 5 a.m. And you still see some of those heavier downpours in our eastern counties around 6 or 7 a.m. So this is kind of the first little wave we'll have to watch tomorrow, is between 4 a.m. and let's just say 8 a.m. That 4-hour window, we may have some heavier downpours that flare up. And that's going to be the main issue, is heavy rain. Those might also have thunder. All right. So we get that first little round out of here, and we'll keep the chance for some hit and miss stuff late morning 10, 11 o'clock. But there won't be much going on until we get into the afternoon. And that's kind of where our second wave will start to kick in. And we'll talk about that here in a second. Angela says, greetings on this first day of hurricane season. Yeah, I wish the forecast was a little quieter. I could kind of dive into that just a bit. I forgot to add it to my show here tonight, unfortunately. Maybe we'll talk about it tomorrow. We'll do that tomorrow evening. Spent my time as a kid, Angela says, growing up in Texas, plotting hurricanes on a map. Do you guys ever have those maps? I had a couple. You pinpoint the center of the tropical storms or hurricanes and watched them as they move through. Yeah, it's definitely going to be a long season. I don't want to say big season, but the forecasts do not look good for this upcoming Atlantic hurricane season. So if you have any interest along the coastline, pay attention over the next 6 months. It could be a little rocky. All right. But yeah, good reminder, Angela. We'll try to talk more about hurricane stuff tomorrow night. Shonda's watching as always. Glad to see me back. Yeah, vacation was good. I was up in Indianapolis for the 500. That was interesting. Waiting out that weather delay, to say the least. But it all worked out as far as getting that race in. It was pretty wild trying to dodge the first round of storms. We didn't go to the track. Me and my dad went to go to the Indy 500 every year. We didn't even go to the track because we knew that afternoon round of storms that moved through Louisville, moved through Wave Country, was going to move through up there too. So we waited that out, then it cleared out. So we went to the track, got the race in. And then, of course, we had to wait out the second round of storms Sunday night. But yeah, vacation was good, Shonda. Thank you for asking. Cheryl says, hello from Comiskey, Indiana. Hope all is well, Cheryl, up in Comiskey. Kurt says, thanks for the update. Of course, that is what we're here for. All right, so let's talk about tomorrow's rain chances. We kind of mentioned that first wave in the morning, and that's why we have the 60% chance overnight tonight, because that window opens around 3 or 4 a.m., lasts through 7, 8 o'clock in the morning, that first wave of potential heavy downpours and some thunder. All right. We'll have a little bit of a break. And then once we get past, I'll say noon or 1 o'clock, this window in particular, mid to late afternoon, we'll have those summer-like downpours. And we're getting into the time of year that, quite honestly, I can't stand because of these hit and miss storms that you just don't know what they're going to do, where they're going to go, and how intense they might be. It's just not fun, in my opinion. I'd much rather have fall where it's nice, quiet, and cool. But anyway, I digress. So for the time being, for that second wave tomorrow afternoon, I'm keeping it at a 30% chance, but I'll just tell you, the models have been trending a little bit higher today with the coverage of those pop-up downpours tomorrow afternoon. So we may have to go up to a 40% chance in later forecast. 6.5 dozen. Don't want to get too deep in the weeds there. Just know there's going to be downpours around tomorrow afternoon, in addition to tomorrow evening, okay? Or tomorrow morning, then again, tomorrow afternoon into the evening. A lot of little waves to talk about, right? Here we go, future cast for tomorrow afternoon, all right? This is noon, and you see the first of those little downpours developing in our western counties. Notice how you got a couple little orange and red downpours, so that's going to be the main issue again tomorrow is heavy rain. As far as wind potential, I don't see it. There's not much shear to work with tomorrow. I guess you can never really rule it out this time of year, but more than anything else, this is just going to be those popcorn kind of downpours that may dump buckets of rain at your house for 15, 20 minutes, and then they are gone. So that's going to be the story throughout the afternoon. This is 1 o'clock. Downpour is not going anywhere. We keep going. If we're going to see any stronger downpours, and notice I'm not saying stronger storms, we're talking more so downpours than anything else, that would be around 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. You see a few of those flaring up in random places tomorrow afternoon. So we'll keep an eye on them. I do not expect severe weather. The main issue tomorrow will be heavy rain. So this is 4 p.m. And then as the evening goes on, we start to get that low out of here. That gave us the rain today. That's giving us the downpours tomorrow morning and tomorrow afternoon. And we'll see those rain chances dissipate past sunset tomorrow night. So no big deal as far as severe weather at all. But just keep the wave weather app handy to keep an eye on these downpours as they're around. First little wave is tomorrow morning near sunrise. Second wave will be in the afternoon. Joe says in the comments, hopefully the rainy May will help us avoid a drought. Yeah, we're definitely on the right track in avoiding the drought so far. But, it always seems like we get to, I don't know, early August, and we just go, boom, dry, nothing. And that's when I get worried about a flash drought. I can't tell you how many times I've seen it around here. Saw it in Alabama at my last shop. So it can happen. But yeah, Joe makes a good point. We're definitely in the green when it comes to avoiding that drought right now. So we talked about tonight's showers. We talked about the downpours tomorrow morning and tomorrow afternoon. Let's turn our attention to next week. That's when things could get a little more interesting. And it's Tuesday and Wednesday in particular we're watching for not only higher storm chances in general, so we're actually talking about storms here for Tuesday and Wednesday, but some of those storms could pack a punch. Notice on Monday, as we zoom out the map here, there's not much happening. Monday is going to be warm. It's going to feel like June on Monday. Highs in the mid-80s, muggy. It's going to be kind of a soupy summer day to start off the work week, but notice how it is mostly dry. I do have a 20% chance for downpours on Monday afternoon, the typical summer pop-ups, but I will say models really aren't showing that at this point. So we may be able to drop those rain chances for Monday even more. We'll see. But Monday looks decent, just warm. But as we get towards Tuesday, that's when the unsettled weather pattern kicks in. And this is going to be those clusters of thunderstorms that could roll through. And what that means is it's so difficult to nail down exactly when these clusters roll through and exactly where they will go. Okay. In general, let me get my drawing tool out here. In general, they're going to be moving northwest to southeast. There could be some that go west to east. There could be, well, that's pretty much the two main directions that these clusters might be coming in as we head towards next week. For Tuesday in particular, the main issue looks to be heavy rain. Still don't have a lot of shear in the atmosphere on Tuesday. More instability. So I think the thunderstorm chances will certainly be higher on Tuesday. But as we get towards Wednesday, a cold front gets closer, and that is what's going to give us that wind energy to work with. So if between the 2 days, Tuesday and Wednesday, I think Wednesday poses the better potential for a few strong storms. Our thinking on that really has not changed in our forecast. You notice around 5 o'clock Wednesday evening, this is the European model. It wants to give us a ton of rain everywhere. Keep in mind, it's not going to be a total washout on Tuesday or Wednesday, but we still need quite a bit of time to nail down how many clusters of storms we see, when they move through, and where the heck they go. Right? So it's going to take a little while for us to nail all that down. But just know Tuesday and Wednesday are going to be stormy at times. And it's Wednesday in particular as the front scoots through that we'll have to watch for a few storms with gusty winds. Already a couple of folks, let's see. Yeah, Joseph asking, will Wednesday be an alert day? Possibly. Yes, it is possible. We're not ready to go there just yet because, like we talked about, we still got to work on some of those specific details. But I'm going to show you the machine learning tool that we use from Colorado State. And it's kind of pinpointing us in a potential zone for a few stronger storms Wednesday. So to answer your question, Joseph, Wednesday could be flagged as an alert day. So stay tuned on that. Ashley says, as long as it's not like last Sunday. No kidding, Ashley. Goodness. I do not see that at all on Wednesday. At all. Could we have a few severe thunderstorm warnings? Sure. But I do not see a full-fledged tornado outbreak like we saw last Sunday. But there could be a few storms on Wednesday that go severe. We're watching it. Now, the big question becomes, how quickly does the front get out of here by late week? It looks like on Thursday, the front will still be nearby. So that's why we got to keep a shower chance around for Thursday, mainly across Kentucky. But in general, the front should move out enough to where those rain chances drop heading into next weekend. So next weekend looks okay right now. Can't ever totally rule out some rain this time of year, but it's looking better than this weekend, that's for sure. All right, here's the Colorado State severe weather tool. Let me take it full screen so you guys can see it better. So this is the, excuse me, the 6 panel, Monday through next Saturday. But let's just focus on these 2 boxes right here, Tuesday and into Wednesday. Whoops, hang on a minute. Let's get this fixed up here. I don't know why that box popped up. Stand by. There we go. All right. So it's Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. The box in the top row, middle, and top right corner. And you see that yellow zone for Wednesday is right over wave country. So it's too early to nail down exact specifics. So I don't want to get too deep into the weeds on that, but Colorado State, the machine learning tool that they have, it's been kind of pinpointing us for a strong to severe storm potential on Wednesday for a couple days now. So because we still got to work on those specific details, we're not ready to go alert day just yet, but it's very possible that we may have to in the days to come. And again, this will not at all be like last Sunday. Okay. It just will not even close. Could there be a few severe storms? Oh yeah, absolutely. But not in the same universe as last Sunday. So please take comfort in that. We're slowly getting out of our peak severe season. Now that we're heading into June, obviously there could still be a few severe storms, especially in the summer, those pop-ups in particular. But we're starting to slowly exit the peak of severe season, and I think we are all thankful for that. Back to the comments we go. Cindy says, thanks for keeping us posted. Of course, that's what we're here for. Ryan says, it's possible as far as an alert day. Shonda says, severe storms I could deal with. Tornado severe. I don't blame you, Shonda. The tornado threat looks pretty low at this point for Wednesday. It looks like the main concern would be the straight line wind gusts that we'll have to keep a close eye on. Joseph says, I hope it's not too bad. Last Sunday hit us hard. Lost a tree and got a hole in our roof. Goodness, Joseph, I'm sorry to hear that. Gosh, you heard that a lot on Sunday, that's for sure. Hope the recovery goes well, Joseph. Hope your family's okay. Yeah, that's no fun. Sorry to hear that. Kelly asks, what does the brown color mean on the Colorado State tool? Great question. So if you ever, we're not under an official severe risk for Wednesday yet, so I didn't put it in my show tonight. But if you ever look at our severe risk from the Storm Prediction Center, the SPC, and it's a marginal risk all the way up to a high risk, right? That map that's like green, yellow, orange, red, pink, that map, okay? The brown zone on the maps you're seeing right now is a level 1 threat. Does that make sense? So the brown zone is a level 1 threat. The yellow zone is a level 2 threat, according to this Colorado State tool. So what does that mean? That means the brown zone could have a couple of storms that produce damaging wind gust. Not many, but a couple. The yellow zones that you see, so like for Monday and Tuesday off to our west, out towards Missouri, Iowa, Kansas, Oklahoma, that's where they could see a handful of storms with damaging wind gusts, maybe a tornado as well. So you notice that yellow zone, while smaller, as I take it full screen again, that yellow zone is smaller on Wednesday, but it is still there for wave country. So we'll have to keep an eye on it. Let me see if I can circle it again. There you go. So that's the zone we'll have to watch on Wednesday right over us for mainly damaging wind gusts. I really think that's the problem that we'll have Wednesday if we do have any storms. And as far as timing, again, way too early to say. I would probably lean towards Wednesday afternoon at this point. So good question, Kelly. Let's see. Tabitha says, if it's just heavy rain, I'm good. Yeah, I agree. Let's see. I was watching last Sunday. Ryan says with Reed Timmer. Yeah, Reed was he was definitely hard at work. Oh gosh, he always is, but especially this spring. Michael says, good seeing you back. Good to be back, Michael. Always good to be back. Appreciate it. Shonda says two tornadoes in Clark County already this year. Yeah, we had that one earlier in May. And my memory's failing me here. I can't remember when that second one was. That's how crazy this that's crazy how this season has been, right? Let's see. Brody says these storms are super annoying, right? Trees by my house that the city own. They keep hitting my house. Yeah. Those trees are always going to cause trouble. So hopefully things can behave, Brody, so you don't have any tree issues, right? Makes sense, seeing all the colors. Good to hear, Kelly. Yeah, that's something that always annoys me is different maps, different companies, so on and so forth, use different colors. It drives me up a wall, but that's another conversation for another night. Yeah, state of emergency last week because of all the storms. Ashley says it looks slightly further east. Still has us a little bit there, but the other day it was on us. Yeah, that's a good point, Ashley. The Wednesday threat that you're looking at, there's been a tiny jog to the east, but yes, true, but I don't want to, go all in on that because these little shuffles, if you will, in the zones don't really mean a whole lot at this stage of the game. But there is a little trend east, so I guess it's worth monitoring, Ashley. Very good point. Of course, Shonda, thank you for reminding me. April 2nd, I was in the storm tracker. I was one of the first people in Clark County, in Jeffersonville, after that tornado went through. I'll never forget it. If you guys remember back in April, we had that big outbreak, that tornado that went through Prospect and Oldham County and then Jeffersonville. We were driving in the storm tracker along the Ohio River, and underneath the East End Bridge, there was a big piece of insulation that was just floating down the river, obviously from a house that had gotten hit by the tornado. Crazy, 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 crazy. All right, so let's talk about rain totals. Thankfully, we haven't seen much heavy rain today. I think Louisville's only seen less than 1/10 of an inch of rain, not much. So that should help ease our flooding concern. But as we look ahead to next week, kind of a broad brush up to 1 inch of rain for most of wave country. So yeah, this wet spring rolls on since we're still technically in spring. Summer doesn't start until June 20th. But in general, looking at about another 1/2 inch to 1 inch of rain with this stormy setup that is on the way next week. But of course, if you get repeated rounds of heavy storms, pardon me, on Tuesday and Wednesday, then those rainfall totals could certainly go over 1 inch. But as far as the flooding threat, it's definitely looking a little bit lower than it has recently. All right, 10-day earliest alert is coming up on the screen. And something you do not see, my friends, is the 90s. Nada. Nothing. No 90s anytime soon. In fact, Let's look at the long-term forecast. Look at all that blue across wave country and across a good chunk of the eastern U.S. So this map is the temperature trend for the next 2 weeks. You notice Louisville is smack dab in the middle of that blue, which means the trend is to keep things cooler than average for the first half of June. I'm not complaining about that. I don't know if you guys are, but this is just fine if you ask me when it comes to those temps. The warmest day is Monday when we go to 87. We'll still be in the mid 80s Tuesday and Wednesday. Remember, those 2 days are not all day washouts. There's going to be some dry time, and that'll be enough to push us into the mid 80s for the middle part of the week. And then we drop back into the lower 80s by next weekend into the following week. I'm watching Saturday of next week in particular. The models are trying to stall out that front to our south next weekend, and that might mean a few scattered storms still linger, especially on Saturday. We'll watch it. Doesn't look like a huge deal at this point, but we'll keep an eye on it. So far, next weekend looks decent. Definitely better than this weekend's forecast for sure. All right, back to the comments we go. Sean, to hold off those 90s until July. Hold them off till August. Hold them off until next summer. Or how about just hold them off forever, if you ask me? I like it cool. Keep the cool weather, Brody says. Yeah, Brody, I'm with you, man. Keep it cool. Ashley says, do we get an extended rain break at some point? Maybe not this upcoming work week, but the following work week. You kind of see it there on the back end of the 10-day. Next Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. It looks drier. I'll say that, Ashley. It looks drier. But I don't know if it's going to be totally dry. You know, it unless you get a big heat dome right on top of us, it's really hard to stay totally dry in the summer months around here. So, but it does look drier. Gotta add that ER at the end. So we get towards next weekend. Any last comments, questions, thoughts before we wrap things up tonight? Appreciate y'all stopping by. Again, showers are with us through this evening. A few heavy downpours tomorrow morning around sunrise. Then we could have additional downpours develop in the afternoon. Nothing severe expected, but if we get any heavier rain, we may have some ponding on the roads. Just keep that in mind. Do not cancel your outdoor plans tomorrow because there will be some dry time here and there. Just keep the Wave Weather app handy. Click on that radar button at the bottom of the app and you can track the rain in real time as it rolls through wave country tomorrow. And then we'll watch Tuesday and Wednesday. Nothing to stress about Tuesday and Wednesday, but there could be a few stronger storms. We'll keep watching it, of course. Nothing like last Sunday at all. Okay, gang, that's going to do it for tonight. Again, appreciate you stopping by. I'll be back on Wave News on your TV tonight at 11. We will be back right here in the Wave Now studios tomorrow evening around the same time. I like to do these around 7:30 each evening on weekends when I'm here. So hope you tune in tonight. Hope you tune in tomorrow morning and tomorrow night as well. We'll be here tracking all of this wet weather for you. I'll leave you with the 10-day earliest alert. Again, guys, keep the umbrellas handy, especially tomorrow. And then again, Tuesday and Wednesday. Hopefully we can dry things out a little bit by next weekend. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Be kind to one another. And we will talk again real soon, my friends. Have a good night. Stay dry.